I'm the fuck out. I didn't even get started on what I was gonna say. Yeah.
Bro, that movie was crazy.
Crazy, Franksy. Yeah.
What are the specials tonight?
That sounds good. I'll have that.
Hey everybody, Specialists in Nothing, back at you again, talking about everything, specializing in nothing. My name is Frank. As always, Joe and Danny, you guys want to say what's up?
What up? What up?
How you doing?
Holy shit. 2434. I'll give you this one. I'm just gonna roll with this. Did you know that Wu-Tang had 34 albums?
34 albums. I know they put out all together. You're saying not Wu-Tang, but like Redman, Ghostman, Method Man, their own shit combined.
No. Like these are all Wu-Tang albums.
I did not know that.
Me neither. So their first one, 92. Their first album was in 92. And that was their demo. Then they had Enter the Wu-Tang. That was 93. That was 93.
That was a good one. Now you got me wanting to listen to my fucking Wu-Tang.
Since those two, they've had 34 albums come out. Disciples of 36 Chambers, The Sting, Return of the Swarm, The Saga Continues, Legend of Wu-Tang. And this is like, so like some of them are greatest hits albums and stuff like that too. But still, they've had 36 albums since 92. Crazy. That's a lot of albums.
That's a lot of albums.
And that's not like exactly like, because you were like, oh, that's got to be like with Method Man. That's not included like Method Man and the prequel and all that stuff. Like none of that is on here.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm. I don't want to list all 34, but yeah, I'm reading them. Like the prequel's not on here. None of Method Man stuff is on here. No Redman. Like it's all just Wu. Like if you go on Wu-Tang, like you just type in Wu-Tang Clan in Google, and then you click on like their albums. Like there's 34 albums for Wu-Tang.
Get the fuck out of here. You went to like the discography?
Yeah.
Can you name all the members right now off the top of your head?
RZA, Jizza, Ghostface, Raekwon the Chef, Method Man. Oh my God.
You're missing two right off the top.
I know, because I'm thinking of the movie too. Oh my God, why can't I think of his name?
He's singing right now.
Ghostface.
You said him.
I didn't say Ghostface.
Yeah, you did.
Here's
the third one you said. Right before Method Man. You want me to tell you?
Yeah, go ahead.
The RZA, the Jizza, the Old Dirty Bastard, Method Man. You also missed Raekwon the Chef.
You God, I didn't say.
Inspector Deck.
Inspector Deck. That's who I was thinking of from the movie. I'm like, I know I'm thinking of what, because I'm thinking of the song when he comes out in the first verse.
Yeah, dog. How do you not remember that shit?
I know, because he's Inspector Deck on this. I know the song. That's what I'm saying. I just couldn't think of it.
Gotcha.
Oh,
I really the Hulu series, the Wu-Tang Saga, was really dope.
Good.
You put me on that shit. And I gotta thank you for that, because I would have watched it, but it's not like all right, dude, you've been pushing Entourage on me for fucking years, and
Entourage is good too, right?
Yes, but Wu-Tang is
Wu-Tang
something I fucking wanted to watch, and I was just like, nah, I'm not gonna watch it because he's telling me to watch it. And then I watched it. I was like, yo, thanks for telling me for watching it.
No, it was really good. It really showed, like, honestly, aside from like their struggle of like how they came up and stuff in the beginning, the first couple episodes, it showed like how bad drugs were on Staten Island, how the neighborhoods were in Staten Island back in the day with all the different neighborhoods and stuff. So I did appreciate that sense of it too. And then going into like them and all the stuff that they went into and everything, and how all the albums came out, and it was such a good show, I have to say.
Dude, it was definitely well put together.
And I didn't know that RZA and Old Dirty Bastard had like real beef because of the whole record deal and like that whole thing.
They were cousins, and when fucking ODB went to jail, RZA continued to like book his shit, and I think that I know that fucking ODB really wanted to get on Def Jam, but I think
like, and RZA knew that he wanted to go on Def Jam, but he also knew that it was a smarter business decision for him to go with
Universal.
Exactly.
Was it Universal?
I think so.
I think it was Universal,
or whoever it was.
And then
don't fact check us on that. We're specialists in nothing. But no, but he knew it was a better deal for him in the long term. So he was thinking about his long term, but then ODB said to him, like in the show, and I wonder if that's what I'm saying. I wonder if this is real life.
Because I Googled it after and I saw an interview of ODB in the fucking limo talking to RZA, like, what the fuck, God? I want my money, God. You fucked me up, God.
And even if he didn't want the long term stuff, like, listen, RZA may be someone that thinks about the long term. It was his dream to be with Def Jam, so he didn't care about the long term stuff. He wanted to be with Def Jam. However, I'm sure now, as an older man, however many years later, I'm sure he thanks him to a degree. Like, even though he's probably got some little, like, I'm sure that Old Dirty Bastard thanks RZA. Like, even though I'm sure to some degree he's like, oh, I still wish I would have been part of Def Jam or this and that, because he has the rights to his music, and I'm sure he made so much more money than he could have or than he would have made. I'm sure that, like, the life that he's living and how blessed he is, I'm sure at some point he had to be like thankful.
Right now, currently, ODB? Yeah. You think right now, this very day, that ODB is living and thanking RZA?
Not living and thanking, but I feel like I'm sure that he doesn't hold as much animosity towards
currently
him for that decision.
Right now, you think that ODB feels this way?
I would think so.
Okay, I'm sorry to like make you feel like a dick right now, but you know ODB's dead for like 15 years, right? Probably more than that.
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, ODB's died for mad long, bro. He OD'd.
Really?
Like 98 or something.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, yeah, I did know that. That's right. I don't know.
Like, well, I think right now he definitely loves his shit.
Okay. He definitely would, is what I meant to say.
Died November 13, 2004.
2004. Oh, wow.
OD'd.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, fam.
I know, I totally do sound like a dick for that. I love that you totally said that, though, because, I totally don't know. But even still, you get the point that I'm trying to make. Is like I'm saying, so if that didn't happen, and like I'm sure that later on in life, like he would have, as an older person,
he did the right things. He was looking out for him, you know.
Yes, like the point of what I was trying to make was exactly like as a younger person, I'm sure he was more like, oh, I want my dream, but like RZA was so mature minded that he was like, listen, you'll thank me later. I'm sure later he would have thanked him.
I agree. I really, I didn't know that Ghostface Killah was messing around with RZA's sister for a while, because actually I did research about this also. They were on and off for a while, but I don't think anybody knew they were together for a while. And then they got together and they got pregnant quick. So they were together in secret.
So that's how they portrayed it in the show too. But like, so from what I watched,
I Googled, because after I watched the series, the two seasons, I also went back. I did YouTube. I did my research and stuff. They were on and off for a while without telling anybody, and then they got together publicly, like everybody knew, and then they had their baby quick.
Well, so that's what I was going to say is so I did watch an interview where it was RZA talking and saying how, yes, they were together and nobody knew about it at first. And so that's why they did put it like that way in the episode. But I guess it wasn't exactly how it came out in the show. But yes, it was exactly like what you said, where they were together in secret. And then I guess she did get pregnant. So it was like a quick, like, boom, rapid fire, like, hey, they're together and they're having a baby.
What also, I was just going to say it, and then you started talking. I don't know, but honestly, I think that in the okay, here it is. So you told me to watch the series, the Wu-Tang Saga, and I watched both seasons. Thought it was dope. I'm excited for a third one, which they're actually debating if they're gonna make a third one. It was supposed to come out in October of this year, but I don't know if production's on pause or whatever. I also watched this. It's like a 4-part documentary on Showtime. It's called Of Mics and Men. MICS, Of Mics and Men, and it's all Wu-Tang gathered together, and they're doing an interview, like separately, but also together in a room, but then also separately somewhere else, and then also together in like a movie theater. And in the movie theater, they're showing clips of them back in the day, and they're laughing, they're reminiscing, they're talking shit. It was really cool. They explain the whole thing. They run through the Wu-Tang saga. They say how like most of it was on track of what was truth. However, some of it was also portrayed for the fictional story of it and to see what the fuck goes on so they could get a little bit more publicity and shit. As far as like the Hulu series and stuff. So it was basically true, but some of the truths were extended for, I guess, what do you call it? Fucking showbiz or whatever. So that's cool. I definitely suggest you check that out. Of Mikes and Men on Showtime on Demand or whatever it is. You might be able to find it.
Because honestly, so here's the funny part is like I always liked Wu-Tang growing up. Right? I always knew a lot of the songs. Cream was always my favorite song, which is actually a funny thing because I was about to ask you what's your favorite Wu-Tang song.
This is actually my favorite Wu-Tang song. Triumph.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can sing every verse to it. That and Uzi.
I did like a lot of their hits and a lot of their music and stuff growing up.
Time out. I was gonna say, are you really in love with Cream, or is it just their most popular song and you've heard it so many times? That's why you.
No, I really do just like the song. Like I love the song, especially like even now, like more nowadays. I have listened to it ever since the show came out, not just because of like the episode and stuff too, but I like the whole, like, you know how I am with TikTok, with us wanting to be on the podcast, with everything. Like I'm all about that now. So I don't know. It's just a very motivational song to me. It kind of speaks out to me a little more so than anything else.
Do you know the words to Cream?
I do know a lot of them if it's playing.
So like, I'm not to do that TikTok challenge where if you mess up the words, you get dunked in the pool.
Oh yeah, like if you would have played that instead of the other song that you guys played by Wu-Tang, I would have totally gotten that. Or I think, unless you stopped it on like a very difficult part. But
do you have Apple Music? You don't have Apple Music, do you?
No, I have YouTube Premium.
I have this really dope playlist. There's like 40 something songs on there. It's all Wu-Tang's like not the greatest hits, because everyone's greatest hits that they have on like the albums, like the essentials, those are different than their real greatest hits.
Yeah.
This is what I'm listening to now because you got me in the mood for Wu-Tang.
No, I hear you. Well, no, I used to use Spotify, but now I really, really liked YouTube Premium, but I never really used Apple Music.
But a lot.
But anyway, so I never really like I said, I liked them growing up. I listened to them, I liked a lot of their songs, but I didn't really know a lot about them besides that they were from Staten Island, where I was from, and like that's kind of why I listened. But now watching the show, I learned so much more, and now after watching the show, it made me want to look up more stuff and watch more documentaries, more interviews, and more stuff like that. So I did watch a lot more stuff on YouTube after the show, especially after the first season, because the first season was kind of slow in the sense of they showed you more about Staten Island. The first season
was really slow. It was they were selling crack, they were trying to this Park Hill versus Stapleton, they were always fighting and shit. They were separate, and then RZA brought them all together.
And so it was cool because, like I said, it showed about a lot of how Staten Island was, and I did appreciate that, and made me want to research a lot more about them. But then when the second season dropped, I was just like, "Oh my god, so good!" But I do hope they come out with a third season. And did you know too? So the Alamo, the new movie theater that opened up on Highland Boulevard. Based. So the bar, RZA donated, I forget how much money, but the bar is a Wu-Tang themed bar, and it's called something. I forgot what it's called.
Yeah. Have you been there yet?
No, I have not.
I have. It's dope. It's a really sick movie theater. It's a dope movie theater experience. I'll tell you that. That's really cool. Yeah. There's like classic movie posters up there. There's Wu-Tang. There's a lot of like old school movie theater posters. It's really cool. I would definitely go check it out.
Well, yeah, like I said, the Flying Guillotine. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
So that's the name of the bar. And like I said, I heard that he dropped a lot of money and donated to like have the bar, Wu-Tang themed and stuff like that. But he was there. He like welcomed the Staten Island Alamo Draft House. I forgot when it was exactly, but it was like something small. It was like less than 100 people of a gathering, like an unveiling of the bar or whatever. It was all elite people, and he was there. and was there when they like unveiled the bar and stuff like that. I thought that was really cool that they did that, like
That's
giving back
dope.
to the island, because exactly, movie theaters on the island have really gone down. This one is supposed to be huge. The Alamo is something that like came out from Texas. These two brothers like started this new movie theater like dining experience that's supposed to be like next level better than other dining movie theaters. I heard that the customer service and stuff is like phenomenal.
Pretty cool.
So the menu is supposed to be a little more than some other dining theaters, and you get some Wu-Tang flavor being from Staten Island.
If I'm not mistaken, I think there's some signature drinks there named after Wu-Tang songs.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I was only there once. I went to go see Thor, but really dope experience. I definitely, that's probably the only movie theater I go to, even though the atrium's like 4 minutes
down the block from you. No, but honestly, I feel the same way. I hear you. Now that it's there, exactly. It's the same price as other movie theaters. Why would you not want to go to the nice, cool new theater and maybe get a snack or something just delivered to your seat instead of having to go to the snack bar?
Yeah.
So
I really also, we get a lot of shit from being from Staten Island, right? Everyone's always like, oh, fucking Staten Island. You got a lot of fuck boys and like Jersey Guidos wannabes and shit like that, like Jersey Shore. That's not what we're all about. That's not what Staten Island is, but that's how we're portrayed. And I gotta say, Wu-Tang put Staten Island on the map. A lot of the times, like even besides the show that they created, like back when it was happening, we were kids. I was a kid then. But I remember my uncles playing this shit on the radio, or like going to a block party, and like the people who were a little older than me, if I was like 8, they were probably like 17, 18, listening to this shit. And I remember hearing it, but I was like, I don't understand this stuff. And then my first, like, what the fuck was it? My first, I guess you could say, parental advisory CD that I've ever bought was Mace Harlem World.
Really?
Yeah, I got it on one of those things where you get 5 CDs for like $12 or whatever.
I hear you.
So I got like a bunch of stuff from there, and then all right, there was these 2 girls, Tanya and Janine.
Can I pause you real quick? I want you to continue the story, but I just want to like throw this in there. My first explicit CD was the first Eminem CD.
Yeah,
with like
that was my first
and all that stuff.
I bought that on cassette. So quick story with that real quick. With Eminem, I wasn't allowed to go into, I couldn't buy that shit from the record store. So my neighbor across the street, Joanne, she was like maybe 10 years older than me, 8 years older than me. At the time, I might have been, how old were we in fucking when Eminem came out? I might have been 12, give or take, 13 maybe. So she went to we were listening to it in her car, and I liked it so much that she went to the store and bought me the cassette. I was like, that's dope.
That's
but what I was saying is, so Mace Harlem World was my first parental advisory CD, but then Enter the Wu was my second. And I started listening to it, and I think I wanted to like them so much more than I actually liked that first album. I think I wanted to like it so much because they were from Staten Island. And I was like, dude, in high school, like 02, 04, 06, I was repping Wu-Tang so hard because it was like my hip hop phase, but also it was like the introduction to like the dance and the EDM for me, like Louis DeVito and all that stuff.
But it's funny because at that time, like while you were feeling that because you were still here, I was living in Vegas from like 8 to 18. So that's why I guess it didn't hit as hard for me because I wasn't still in New York. You know what I mean? During that time.
Bro, but it was dope because, like I said, Wu-Tang put Staten Island on the map. I mean, there was a lot of rappers and shit that would come to and from Staten Island, but they wouldn't come too far away from, I guess, where they were from because it's uncharted territory. And like, you wouldn't have like Tupac and Biggie. You wouldn't see them crossing paths on the street because one was West Coast, one was East Coast.
Yeah.
Well, same thing with like, let's just call like 50 Cents from Jamaica,
because
Queens.
they were both on both sides. Like there were a lot of travel between the two of them. Like there was a lot of Biggie going to LA and Tupac.
But what I'm saying is, what I'm trying to reference. Hear me out. I'm not
I
done.
hear what you're saying though.
No. What I'm saying is the people from Staten Island wouldn't really go into Brooklyn, and the people from Brooklyn wouldn't come to Staten Island, even though they were only a ferry right away, because they would stay in Brooklyn, they would stay in Staten Island. You wouldn't hear of Nas or Jay-Z coming to Staten Island for anything, but Wu-Tang would go all the way to the Bronx to perform because that's where they got their shit.
There was nothing really big in Staten Island. There was nothing that was out here for that. Manhattan, the Bronx, Brooklyn was where all those stuff were. Even now, still, there's really nothing big in Staten Island like that. As compared to Manhattan, the Bronx, or
of course, because
Brooklyn,
there's more space for it. And there's more like CBGB in Manhattan. That's popping because it was a classic rock and roll joint back in the day, punk rock and shit. Something else though. What was I just gonna say? Hold on.
I don't know what we're gonna say.
I'll tell you right now. Talking about Wu-Tang, obviously, Jay-Z. Oh, did you know that Eminem performed on Staten Island before the Slim Shady LP dropped?
Wait, say that again. I'm sorry.
That's okay. You got it. You need a minute?
No. I just scanned.
Eminem performed in Staten Island before the Slim Shady LP dropped. It was between Infinite and Dr. Dre picking him up. There's a place on Newdorf Lane. It was called Element. It was in the middle of Newdorf Lane. If you're driving from Highland Boulevard going towards Amboy, it's on the left-hand side. It looks just like an old school movie theater where it's got like the thing on top, the booth and the two entrances. Eminem performed there June, I think, 1998, if I'm not mistaken, or 97. It was because I think Slim Shady LP came out in 99, and then Marshall Mathers LP came out in 2000. So yeah, it was like a year before shit dropped.
Wow, I did not know that.
Pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, and Wu-Tang, they did concerts all over the place, through all the 5 boroughs.
Well, I was going to say, point being, though, nobody knows about the concert for Eminem in Staten Island because exactly nothing big is ever on
nothing happened in Staten Island.
That's why they had to go to other places. But like
Wu-Tang performed in Coney Island not too long ago.
Really? Oh, yeah, I did see that. You're right.
And I was working on the ambulance, and they had me detailed out there. I was outside the concert venue. It was pretty dope.
That's pretty dope. No, but like how you were saying about them performing in the Bronx and stuff, like that was a cool thing about showing on the show, how they showed that and how like exactly because that venue was so big. And I know that was like in the beginning and they've performed there many times since, but just referencing that into what you said, it was cool to show like how they like weren't even like supposed to perform there in the sense of like how they did what they had to do. Like I love to see.
Well, explain how they did what they had to do. You want me to explain?
Yeah, I would say you explain.
All right, we'll put a pin in your thing.
Well, because I'm saying I'm going to fuck it up. But I just love how it showed how shows like that come out after show stories of how things got big. Because for people like us or like anyone that wants to get bigger now, like it's cool to see that story of things they had to do that. It's like sometimes you got to say fuck it and do some things you're not supposed to do to get fucking out there and do the, you know what I mean? Do the wrong thing in a sense. But they did it the right way, just like a lot of people do. I know that voice. That's math.
Yeah. So what had happened was, if I'm not mistaken, they told a record label that they were going to be performing at the venue in the Bronx, and they weren't even scheduled. And it was mad hard to actually get a spot on there. Mm-hmm. So Riz's brother did everything he can to get them in there. He met with the owner and everything. He was like, no, we're not having it, or whatever the case was. They wound up just fucking going anyway, rushed the stage and performed 3 songs.
See, I thought that it was,
and like that's why they ran off the stage after.
Cut. I thought
something
it was
like that. Something like that.
He did get them
like
on.
Day of they got on, or something along the lines. Like they really weren't on the set
list. But then they did get cut or something like that, and they weren't supposed to perform, but they showed up anyway, thinking they were supposed to before they got cut, and they went on anyway or whatever it was. But it's a good thing they did, man, because honestly, let's say, what if they didn't do that? You think they would have never gotten as big or would have never gotten found out? Like that was a big breaking point for them back in the day. You know, that probably got them out to so many different people because especially back then, there was no internet and stuff to like how it is now, you know?
If you were you now, back then, do you think you'd still have as much of a liking for Wu-Tang, or do you think it would be more or less? Because when I was in high school, like I said, that's when
For us, it's going back to the same time as we were that age. So, oh, you mean like my age now?
Like, yeah, like if you were how old you are now, but back then, do you think you would have caught on to Wu-Tang?
Probably.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
I think I would have had more of a liking for them because even now, like with people that I talk to that are like my age, like even like with I'm using my sister as an example because of kids and stuff like that. But like,
yeah,
I'm very big on like how the Gary Vee thing says, like, I want my kids to embrace the YouTube kids and the stuff like that and whatever. I think that's the next generation type of stuff. So I want them to be better than that than the next kid rather than being like, no, you shouldn't be doing that and limit your time and blah, blah, blah. It's not like if that's going to be the next generation of stuff, I want them to be the best at it. I don't want them to be like thinking about the generation that I was on because that's what I'm used to. So I'm very big on like opening myself up to whatever the newer thing is for the next generation because I feel like that's how you're going to thrive. You have to, in the sense of like knowing what is right and doing the smart decision, you kind of also have to have the sense of going with the flow in the sense of what is trending, what is this, what is that, to know, the best things. So I kind of want them to have a good mix of everything. And I feel like because I have that mindset that, yeah, I would, because they were someone that came out that was something new, was different, whatever. I feel like I would be open to that. I am very open to things like that now.
But imagine yourself in 93, 94, 95, 96 when they were first coming up. And this music was different. It's got Chinese sounds in it, it's kung fu action, and then it's like there's no hook to the verse. They're just spitting a couple bars every few minutes. They're switching up the style. I love kung fu, bro.
I'm just saying, like you said, like so. I like kung fu films, so I don't know. I mean, personally, like I wouldn't.
This is the Bruce Lee master collection of all 5 of his best fucking works. The Big Boss, Fist of Fury, Way of the Dragon, Game of Death 1 and 2.
No, I feel you, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know, like that's what I'm saying. I think I would support it. I do think I would support it. I liked them when they first came out, and not just because I was young and whatever. Like, I liked what it was,
See, like I said, though, when I was in high school, I was really only repping Wu-Tang because they were from Staten Island. I was like, Shaolin shadow boxing. Those
were the
biggest,
only big thing in Staten Island back then. So yeah,
right.
Of course.
But even now, you have other things that have come from Staten Island. Do you think Wu-Tang would still have made as big of an impact now?
Yeah, there's still not as many things. What's as big that came from Staten Island? Pete Davidson?
Please don't.
Who else came from Staten Island that's huge?
Christina Aguilera.
No way.
Yeah, bro. She was born in Staten Island.
Get the fuck out of here. Seriously?
Here. Yeah. Also the guy Eamon, Eamon, who sings the song "Fuck You, You Ho, I Don't Want You Back."
I did not know that.
Are you looking up Staten Island?
I am.
Okay. Do it up.
So Pete Davidson is number 1. Okay, I did not know this, and I really like this. Theo Rossi. Do you know who that is?
No.
That's Juice from Sons of Anarchy.
No way.
Is from Staten Island. I did not know that. Kevin Sussman. I did not know that. He's an actor. Who else? I don't know who these 3 people are. Christina Aguilera is number 7. You're right.
What did you type in?
So I just typed in famous people from Staten Island. Kevin Sussman, Robert Loggia, Carmine Giovinazza. They're all actors. I don't know who they are. But,
really?
And Brandon Sexton III. I don't know who that is either. But Christina Aguilera is on there.
Yep.
That's really it, dude. Brian Quinn and Sal Vulcano, Joe Gatto, and James Murray.
Yeah. Was that fucking Impractical Jokers?
Yeah. But they're like new famous still, like you said, yeah, like now.
That girl Drita from fucking Mob Wives is from Staten Island too, I think.
The Jersey Shore people, Vinny and Mike the Situation are born in Staten Island.
Bro, you ready for this? Emilio Estevez. Emilio Estevez. Yep.
And I was like, Emilio. All right, so I'll give you that one. Vic DiBattista is from Staten Island. I did not know that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Do you know who he is? He's an Italian comedian.
Yeah, I think so. He's the guy. Yeah, I know who he's talking about. He's the older guy. He's always spitting in the camera.
Mm-hmm. Yes. He was in Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 also, but he's a comedian. Yeah.
You ready for this?
I can't believe that he's from Staten Island.
Bro, Alyssa Milano.
Really?
Alyssa Milano, actress from what the fuck was she in? She was in a bunch of shit, but I can't think of anything she's in right now, actually. But she was from Staten Island. That's pretty interesting.
So I guess there was a couple, but even still, like that's not that many in the past, like
Steven Seagal.
30 to 40 years. Steven Seagal is not from
Says
Staten
it right
Island.
here. Says it right here.
I don't know if I believe that one. Steven Seagal is from Staten Island.
Yeah, bro.
Even still, Steven Seagal was cool back in the day, but now he's just like fat and old and still tries to do stuff and like looks terrible doing it. And
you have to.
He's ruined his image. But I'll give you that as someone that was famous at one point. But even still, you're talking about less than 10 people that were famous from Staten Island.
George Harrison lived in Staten Island from the Beatles.
We're talking about less than a dozen people that were famous from Staten Island that in the last, like, what, 30 to 40 years, maybe even 60. I'm just saying, it's hard to come out from Staten Island.
This is true, man. You don't get a lot of people who have their, like, how do I say it? Like, Staten Island doesn't produce a lot of people because everyone's always like, oh, fucking Staten Island, fucking Staten Island. Wu-Tang changed that shit for us, bro. We appreciate you, Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang.
New York
Wu-Tang.
definitely does, but yes, Staten Island as an individual does not.
I'm still going down the list. Lil Susie, the freestyle singer. She's from Staten Island.
I don't know who that is.
You type in Lil Susie on Spotify and you'll be like, oh shit, this is her.
Oh my God.
Same thing. Raquel, BB Rexa.
I didn't know this one, but you ready for this?
Gene Simmons.
Randy Macho Man Savage.
Get the fuck out of here. That's
so
pretty
it
crazy.
Says a wrestling god in the heyday of what used to call Staten Island home. He resided in a condo in Springville by the Staten Island Mall, which he purchased in 1986.
No shit.
He was not born here, but he lived here from like the 80s to 90s.
That's pretty cool. So you know what else I really liked? Fucking when MTV Cribs was on, they went to Redman's house and his shit was filthy, bro. His shit was filthy. It was not what you thought it'd be, but he was like, represent Staten Island. And he's got no toilet paper on his thing. It was funny, dude. You got to watch that episode if you ever get a chance to.
Yeah, I will. That's funny. Oh, it's funny because where I live now, I live right by Method Man's old house. And it's funny. So when he moved into the house that was like over here, he got like gates that were put in, and the house still has the gates there, even though like, you know, it's just a regular house in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
But it's like very secured and has like these big metal gates around it and everything. And it's funny because that was like his house that he used to live in, but there's whatever, like another regular family there now. And it's just funny because I just, that's a fact that I know.
I told you that I met Method Man at the gym one time.
No.
I had to have told you this.
No.
All right. So I go to LA Fitness.
One of the Stop Shops that I worked in a couple times, but never when I was there. And I would love to meet him.
Yeah.
I would honestly, not even as like, I know it's fucked up. And I know probably most people will be like, yo, that's such a douche thing to do. But I would probably come up to him and be like, dude, I would love to get you on our podcast. Like, not even just for the sense of who he is, but because I would love to like be able to talk to him for an hour of his time.
Yeah.
Like if you saw him in the store or something, what are you going to get? A minute or two? Like I would love to talk to him for like an hour and really fucking talk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And really
I would
talk
straight
to
up,
him and
bro,
get to know him. And like, I wouldn't even ask
tell
him.
Tell me
like,
how you started. Tell me what's
see,
up.
that's what I mean. I wouldn't even ask him fan-based questions. Like I would ask him some stuff. There would be a couple, like maybe like 5. But
would you ask him? Can you come to my daughter's 6th birthday party?
No, like I would be like,
I would. Like, I'd be like, she's my niece. You gotta come. She loves you.
No, I'd probably ask him like about stuff like now, like about the aftermath. Like, how has your life been now? Like after you became famous, who you were, you know, and all that stuff. Like, how is it like now? Like when you go places, does everybody still notice you? Does some people still notice you? Like, you know, what everybody are you getting involved in now? Because you can't be as rapping as much. So like, are you just like kind of enjoying the, you know, retired life, or is there other things you're into? Like, I would kind of still want to get to know him as a person because always watching him out of all of them, he just seemed like the most coolest motherfucker to talk.
He was always
like,
chill.
I would love to sit and smoke.
Ladies love him, bro. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So I'm going to tell you, I met him twice, actually. I forgot about the second time. First time I met him, I was at LA Fitness on Victory, the East Service Shore. They're closed down now, but We're there.
To LA Fitness.
What's up?
I said, wow, you're telling everybody he goes to LA Fitness.
He doesn't go there anymore. He switched gyms. I know where he goes, but I'm not going to say it. So I was at the LA Fitness down by East Service Road. And from the second I got out of the locker room to go start my shit, I saw him immediately. It's kind of hard not to see Method Man. He's like 6'3".
Yeah.
But I saw him working out, and immediately I was like, oh, Wu-Tang, METHOD, man. I didn't say that to him, but I was fan geeking out for a second.
Head.
Yeah, in my head. I was like, all right.
METHOD, man.
So I was geeking out, and I was like, fucking, what do I say? I was chill. I was cool about it. I didn't want him to think like, oh, who's this punk ass white boy? So I walk up, I do my thing, and he was on a bench in the mirror doing dumbbells. I walked over, I grabbed like, I don't know, more than I could actually lift at the time. And I grabbed like 35 or 45 pounds to do curls or whatever. At the time, that was heavy for me. But what I'm trying to say is I started doing my workout right next to him, and I'm working out. I'm looking at him. He's looking at me in the mirror. And then he put the weights down. He said something. No, he didn't say something. He put the weights down, and he went to go pick up another pair of weights that I had done before. And I was like, if you want to stop, what'd I say to him? Fuck.
You don't remember what you said to
No,
Method
because
Man?
listen, dude, it was like along the lines of,
Mister, I'm all about Wu. I repped him in high school. You forgot what you said to Method Man?
Yeah, because I made a joke about it. So he went to go put the weights down, and he picked another pair of weights up. Oh, and I was like, yo, when you're done warming up, let me use those. And he like chuckled at me because he was doing like whatever it was, 80-pound bench press, let's just say, with like dumbbells. So I was like, yo, when you're done warming up, let me know. I need to use those. And he like chuckled at me. And then I was like, yo, you need a spot? He's like, nah, fam, I'm good. And I was like, all right, no doubt. I'm here if you need me. Like, that was my whole interaction with Method Man.
Seriously?
Yeah.
You didn't even say like, yo, like give him a dap and say I'm a fan, like something like that?
I knew it was him, and I think I said like on the way out, I was like, Wu-Tang Forever. Just like he was, and he's like, he didn't have a conversation with me. I knew he wasn't going to respond to me. He's in the gym. He's working out. He's got his earphones in.
Yeah.
I was like, say something.
I hear you. No, that's
I was like,
respectful.
say something not like, oh man, you're fucking Method Man. Holy shit, Wu-Tang. So I tried to keep it chill.
You're right.
He snickered at it. So I was like, oh, that's cool. I got a little chuckle out of this guy. But when I was on the ambulance, I was down in Stapleton, and he was actually recording another music video right in front of the Kennedy Fried Chicken. So I pulled up in the ambulance. He was like, yo, what's up? Not to me, but like just because it's FDNY ambulance. And he was like, what's up? And I was like, I gave him the woo. I went like this with my fingers. And that was funny. It. That was cool. And then I think I was
the second time. You think
that was the second time?
From the first time?
I don't think so. I'm in a totally different uniform. I'm not sweating.
How long apart was it?
The first time I saw him, I think, was like summer 2017 or 18. It was like 2 or 3 years before COVID, whatever that was. And then when I saw him again was, I think it was like almost 2 years ago. It was September, October of 20,
he definitely remember who you are. He probably sees so many people. He definitely
Oh, it was last year because I was on the ambulance with Matt in Staten Island. So you met famous people though, right?
I've met a few famous people, but no singers ever.
No one from Wu-Tang?
No one from Wu-Tang. Never any famous singers. Only actors.
I wonder where the rest of Wu-Tang lives now.
Jackson, so never mind. Wait, what?
Yeah, I will forever be fucking envious of that. Forever.
It's funny because I'm not gonna lie, I'd rather meet Method Man twice.
Damn.
Isn't it funny how things like happen?
Yeah, right? Damn. Oh. I would go back in time and not meet Method Man twice to meet Michael Jackson once.
Same opposite. I would totally rather meet Method Man twice than meet Michael Jackson. Because if I would have seen Method Man, I probably would have been like, yo, bro, I know you're working out, but like, you want to go smoke after, please. I would see that. No, it's actually probably good I didn't meet him because I probably would totally be a fanboy. Because not even out of just Wu-Tang, just in general, like Method Man, the stuff that he's done. I was very big into Limp Bizkit when I was younger.
Yeah,
he was on the Limp Bizkit album with the In Together Now. Like he was always relevant,
expanding his shit.
He always did a lot of stuff. I always liked Method Man. The prequel was probably one of my favorite albums
that shit
he
was
did
mad
ever.
good.
Such a fire album. I could listen to the whole thing front to back.
Over and over.
He had a lot of good albums, but that was just one of my favorite albums.
Real quick. So one of my favorite intros is when he goes, "Bam, chicky." Do you remember the name of that song? In the beginning of the song, it goes, "Bam, chicky," and that's him. And I forgot the name of the song. I definitely know it. It might actually be the name, the prequel of the album.
Oh,
I gotta find this shit.
But there's the album, the prequel was just so dope. The song he had with Missy Elliott, I friggin' loved. The song that he has with Busta Rhymes, amazing. I love that song. But there's so many good songs on that album. I love it. It's one of my favorites. And
all right. So do you know in order your favorite? Are you done? I'm sorry, I mean to cut you off.
No. I was just saying, like, him in general. Like, I love a lot of the stuff that he's done. So I feel like for him in particular, as to any other of the Wu-Tang, I would be a little more starstruck if I
right. So I was saying before, I wonder where the rest of Wu-Tang lives now, because I don't think any of them live in Staten Island except for Method Man. But
yeah, he does. He lives by like Richmond Avenue.
Yeah. Not who do you, but what are your top 5 Wu-Tang songs?
Top 5 Wu-Tang songs. Okay, so Cream is definitely number 1. Just because that was probably one of my favorites always.
Right.
For like the longest period of time. I did always like Protect Your Neck, so I'm not gonna say that's in like number 2, but that would probably be in like the top 5. Are we counting like separate stuff? Because like I love how Old Dirty Bastard did the Mariah Carey song. That was always like a personal favorite of mine.
I would think that's more of a Mariah Carey song than a Wu-Tang song.
See,
if I was saying like, song, if you're gonna skip out and be like Method Man and Limp Bizkit and Together Now, then I could say that maybe ODB and Mariah Carey, but that's like low on the totem. So okay, let's stick with Wu-Tang.
So I'm gonna say that then, because In Together Now was definitely.
No, I said you can't say those two.
No, I'm gonna say that one because that one was up there for me back in the day, and you just said that. So, METHOD Man, love that song. See, but that's what I'm saying. I like a lot of the hits, like Wu-Tang Ain't Nothing to Fuck With. Love that one. Yeah, I like all the hits, bro. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. There's a song that I can't fucking think of right now, but I love it so much. And once the title comes to me, it's gonna fuck me up. But I really like Triumph, Uzi. I like Triumph, Uzi. I like Protect Your Neck. I do like Cream, but it's probably number 6. I would say also Gravel Pit is a good one. And either Tears or Wu-Tang Clan Ain't Nothing to Fuck With.
Word.
Visions is another good one though. I really like that song.
Protect Your Neck was the first hit, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I like that one.
They filmed that shit outside the Park Hill projects.
I know, and I love the video, and it's cool because I love how they showed the show, like how they did like the back side of like showing with the sword and stuff at the end of the video and all that stuff.
Who wants to get guillotined?
It was cool. I like how they did that. That's what I'm saying. See, I definitely had a new appreciation after the show.
Absolutely. But that happens with almost anything, after something big comes out, you're all about it.
Or when you could see something to relate in someone's shoes, when you see something like that, that show was really putting like a, you know what I mean? Like, oh, check this out from our perspective type of thing. And once you watch it like that, you can really feel that. I mean, I'm very big on whenever I watch a movie, when I watch a TV show, I feel like I get immersed in that shit. Like, when Karen tries to talk to me when I'm watching something, she has to say my name like 2 or 3 times to get me out of the zone, because like I do when I'm watching something, I feel like I'm invisible inside of that scene watching what's going on. If that makes any sense. You know what I mean?
It does.
Whenever actually, I watch stuff, I immerse myself in it.
I'm glad you brought this up, because this is something I wanted to touch on, but I forgot which episode it was in the Wu-Tang saga, but they spent, each episode's like 48 minutes or something like that, give or take. In this one episode, they spent like 30 minutes strictly on RZA producing a track, and it showed him putting on different records, listening it to a little bit, taking
Oh,
this
you're talking about
part.
it was all the invisible people, like the bands and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
That was such a good
It
episode.
was,
I
it
know what
was
you're talking
really
about.
good. And he would listen to the record and he would take that part and he would add that to it. And then he'd add the drum and bass. He'd take it away. He'd add some doo-wop. He'd take it away. Put this,
Yeah,
put
so
that,
wait,
little guitar.
to kind of explain a little bit, like, sorry, because
Please.
you kind of said he would take a record, and then when you hear like the guitar, the drums, the bass, the this and that, he would take just one set from the record of one tune from the one instrument and then put them all together. So it was cool because if you haven't seen the show, yeah, it would show like him playing the record and the whole band being there, and then whatever instrument he wanted to take out would be the person that would stay there, or like their ghost that he was imagining.
Right, like in the film, they would remove the rest of the band.
Exactly, and then like as he pieced them all together, it would be just the ones that he wanted, and it showed how he made the tracks in like a different way for, honestly, not to say it like that, but normal people like us to understand, because when you don't have that musical talent to think like that,
right,
you need to see it that way visually. But that's, for him, he didn't need that visually. That was just, he could hear certain things, listen to certain records and say, wow, I want to do this with this and this with it. Like, because he was one of the first, to do that. Well, like with mixing boards and stuff like that, they were one of the first to produce, to purchase one of those. Like, they couldn't even afford it, and he was still getting that stuff. And like, RZA was a genius beyond his time. If he was someone that like came up in money and something like that, he would have gone way farther than
100%. Well, I don't know. Do you think if he would have came up in money,
well,
things would have been different?
Yeah, because then
I think the struggles would make them.
Yeah, the thrive wouldn't have been there as much. 100%. That's the fucking balance of life. That's the teeter. It's like, all the kids that are brought up that way with all the opportunity take advantage of it and don't realize what they have. But then all the people that come up in the struggle wish they had these fucking things and don't have the advantages to take opportunity. And then it's that balance of life, and who can make it to even. And it's crazy because very few of the ones that have the opportunities take them, and very few of the ones that don't have the opportunities get them. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of waste.
About seizing the moment.
Yeah, dude, it's
100%.
It's a lot of waste. It's crazy, but
that was definitely my favorite episode of the show.
Oh yeah, it's definitely good that nowadays, though, too, that people in general have, like, because of the internet and stuff like that. Exactly. There's still a lot of people that abuse it, that use it for just pure stupid reasons only and stuff. But like, even me, for as much as I TikTok and this and that stuff, I love to use the internet for learning. Like, you don't realize how much the world is at your fingertips. Exactly. Like, you don't understand how much you have sometimes. And I love that we have that now. But I love that we have that now because with documentaries, with things like this, with films, like I think you wanted to have an episode like that, like about films like that, but Bohemian Rhapsody, Elton John, Elvis, Wu-Tang, you have all these different shows and movies and this and that show their life, that now people get to watch these things. Some people are going to learn from it. Not all of them. Some of them are going to just watch it purely for the enjoyment and this, blah, blah, blah. But some people are going to learn from it. You know what I mean? And I hope to think that I'm one of those people, because I really feel that way. You know what I mean? I hope to think that I'm one of the people that I look at these movies and shows and stuff when I watch them, and I'm like, damn, what did they do? How did they get there? Like, what is it? You know what I mean? And
I'll tell you right now, it's struggle and it's drive.
And it's pushing limits. A lot of them pushed limits, but did things they weren't supposed to do at the right time for the right reasons. That's the difference of, like, when people say like doing the wrong thing for the right reasons sometimes is still the right thing, like it's your way of deciding what is the right and wrong thing and what the reasons behind that for are. And that's why I love watching a lot of these shows and movies. And that's why, like, this show in particular was so awesome to me, because exactly, even though like I lived in Vegas for 10 years, like I really was from and brought up in Staten Island from a young age, moved back here, and it always had a close part to my heart. So now that this came out, I wanted to watch it, and then watching it and seeing so many things that I didn't know, it made me want to go back now and like kind of have a new appreciation for it. You know what I mean? And I'm sure that was the case for a lot of people that even lived on Staten Island. Yeah. I'm sure there was certain people that like listened to them, knew they were, but didn't know everything about it, and like went back and watched the show and had a new appreciation too. You know what I mean?
For real. Yeah.
So, and it's cool. It's something else that also makes them relevant now without like, bro, they had 34 albums, like I said in the beginning of the episode. Crazy, I never knew that. this is something that makes them more relevant, that makes like all those albums like get looked up a little more, and like, without them having to come out with another album, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Would you ever go to a Wu-Tang concert?
fuck yeah.
Would you pay $400?
400? No way. I pay $85 for a Dave Matthews ticket that I go see every year. I any concert ticket, I'm talking like $100 or less to go enjoy it.
You wouldn't pay 150. You wouldn't pay 150 to go see Wu-Tang.
I mean, now if it was like one of their last concerts or something like that, I don't know why I said that weird. If it was one of their last concerts or something like that, maybe. But
All right, what if it
I'm
was
usually at like $100 cap off for a concert, because a concert to me, even though it's cool seeing somebody nostalgic and it's not, like, a concert to me is just like one night, a good time out, having some beers, overpriced, and enjoying some music, which I could do that at a bar. You know what I mean? Like,
okay.
so to me, like,
the
don't get me
question.
wrong, a concert is different. I went to see Eminem and Jay-Z with Karen, but
I saw them too.
But again, she bought those tickets and she spent like, I think 150 a piece, like 300 on each. And our seats were great. It was a cool concert, but like, I would have probably got higher seats for less money if it was me, just because you'd still hear the same show up in the, like, I don't know. Like, to me, a concert isn't a good thing to waste money on. I'd rather waste money on something else that was more, I'd get more joy out of. You know what I mean?
Okay, let me rephrase.
Like, to be honest, I know you're probably going to be like, oh shit, really? I'd rather pay more for a medieval times event to sit closer to the front row than something at a concert.
Okay. Would you pay anywhere between 100 and 175 to go see Wu-Tang?
Are you asking me because they have a concert coming up?
Just
because you sound like you're asking me for, like, particularly.
What if it was Wu-Tang and Nas?
If it was Wu-Tang and Nas, that's different. That drives the price up because now you're talking about two concerts in one.
Okay, so if it was Wu-Tang and Nas for 150 on Tuesday, September 13th, would you go and see the concert?
September 13th in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
No.
You don't got to prepare to go see a concert.
No, I'd have to have the money to go see the concert, and I wouldn't have that in the next 2 weeks.
What if,
especially $150? And don't say that
it was an early Christmas gift.
No, fuck you.
What is an early birthday gift? What if it's just a celebratory Wu-Tang situation? And I was like, yo, throw me 85 that you would pay for Dave Matthews, and I'll take the rest. Bro, Wu-Tang and Nas, Tuesday at the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. It's literally 35 minutes away.
It's a pretty cool concert.
If anybody wants to see us at the concert, we will be there. Please reach out to us and let us know. We'll go as a group. I'll buy you your first beer.
Can we make Wu-Tang shirts for it?
Bro, we could. I have them already made. All these designs. I do nothing with these designs, bro.
That's why I'm saying, can we make a couple of shirts?
You fucking know it. You fucking know it, bro.
That's I'll go. I'll
Anybody listening, you want a Wu-Tang shirt? Hit us up. I'll give it to you really good price. When I say really good price, I mean you get it online for $30. I'll give it to you for maybe 22.
22.
Yeah, fam. I gotta print it.
That is a good deal.
I gotta buy the shirt. I'm just saying.
How about this? You could get it for 20 if you get it from us cash at the venue and you meet us there.
Ooh, snap diggity dog.
Oh man. No, but I would go. Yeah, let's do it.
Excuse me. Yeah, I'm with that. So
that's a dope concert. I see. I have to say I like Nas too. Nas is dope. I love a lot of stuff he stands for, a lot of stuff. Like, see, I like a lot of those
repping the hood type of shit.
No,
not the hood, but like repping your hood.
Pro making yourself better type of rappers that are like a lot of the stuff he talks about is what's the word I'm looking for? Like,
supportive.
Like, yeah, but not. I'm looking for a different word. Like, for the culture. Like, a lot of Nas's songs are about like for the better of like not just the human race, but yes, about everything, about for the culture. Like, a lot of his stuff.
Uplifting.
Yes, uplifting. That's the word I'm looking for. A lot of their lyrics and a lot of their stuff are he's just uplifting. He's just.
I feel you.
I don't know. I love Nas. I do. He's great. And exactly like I said, like Wu-Tang, a lot of the stuff that they stood for back in the day that I didn't realize until more now after watching it stuff. Like, dude, that sounds like a dope show. That's a dope collab show. You kidding? It's probably gonna be like a 3.5 hour show.
I'm fucking down for it, bro. It starts at 8 p.m.
Let's go.
We'll talk more about this.
All right.
One more thing that I wanted to ask you. It's kind of about Wu-Tang because I wanted to ask you before when you brought it up, but I don't know. We just continue talking about something else. Top, because you were like, yo, I'd love to blaze with Method Man.
Oh yes.
Top 5 people you want to blaze with. I don't smoke that much anymore.
In general of all
I'll
time?
tell you right now, in general of all time, top 5 people you want to smoke.
Oh man, dude. Can you go first? Because this is
Why,
like,
so you could steal my
like
shit?
you know me, like I'm more of into this than you. So like this is I have to give me like 2 minutes to think about this because you put me on the spot and I know there's people that I'm gonna forget. So like give me 1 second. You go first.
All right. I'm thinking, yes, Method Man would be up there, but he'd probably be number 5.
Really?
Yeah. Snoop Dogg would be number 1.
Really?
Snoop Dogg would be number 1. I'd probably want to smoke with Sarah Silverman. She's fucking hilarious, and she is open about smoking weed. Probably Seth Rogen because he's funny as shit.
Wow, I'm so opposite. My list is so different than yours. Yeah, go ahead.
I would probably also want to smoke with Cheech and Chong if I could get them in the same session. That
I was just gonna say,
one.
does that count as one? Okay, good, because they would be on my top 5. Okay, so good, yeah.
And the last one's tough, man, because there's a lot of people who smoke weed out there, but I feel like just to get a chill vibe, maybe Wiz Khalifa. But I know
See, he'd be like number 6. He'd be like number 6. Like him and Snoop Dogg would be like my number 6 and 7, or like tied for 6. But for me, see, and I'm gonna go totally different on you. Are you ready for this?
I know I'm gonna want to take some of yours. So
number 1 is Kevin Smith.
Okay.
I'd want to smoke with Kevin Smith. Number 2 is Woody Harrelson.
You know what? I would think about that. He would probably be up there. He'd be number 7.
Number 3, Jerry Garcia.
Jerry Garcia, man. How did I fucking miss Dave Chappelle? I knew it.
I'd probably say Bob Marley.
I was thinking Bob Marley, but I was like, you know what?
Just because I love those type of views. I think he would be a total uplifting person to smoke with.
Yeah.
I think that would be a dope smoke session. Like I feel like I would get inspired by smoking with him in a session.
Interesting.
And my last one would have to be Method Man. Would be number 5.
Yeah.
Like I said, Wiz Khalifa and the Snoop Dogg would be like the 6 and 7. But if I had to pick like a random out there, like because you said Sarah, what'd you say?
Sarah Silverman.
Sarah Silverman. I'd have to say Miley Cyrus over Sarah Silverman.
Really?
I love Miley Cyrus. My kids love Miley Cyrus. I love how she came out from her dad and like she came up in like the whole rock star life. And she was like a Justin Bieber. Like, well, Justin Bieber was different because he got famous young, but like she was in famous from being young. So like it affected her. She was messed up for a while. And if you look at her now, like she's still a little out there in a sense, but
yeah,
she's got an amazing knowledge of music. And when I mean an amazing knowledge, like wide range of instruments, knows how to produce, knows the industry, knows a lot of like different things than just singing and being an artist. You know what I mean? She knows a lot of backdoor stuff. She has a lot of knowledge in the industry. I would love to like chill with her and pick her brain and like sit with her. She's like someone that's more our age, like on the younger set of artists, but has been through it for so many years where like you could learn a lot from her. I think that she's just totally a cool fucking person. My kids fucking love her as an artist. I do. She's definitely up there on my list.
So if I had to pick another female, I would probably say Rihanna.
Really? Yeah, she's a weed enthusiast. That's true.
It's all about that shit.
If I had to pick behind Miley Cyrus, like if we were going just women, I'm going to blow your mind again, and I'm going to go Whoopi Goldberg.
Whoopi Goldberg?
Whoopi Goldberg is a weed enthusiast. She has like a weed, I think she invests in like a weed company or something like that, or like something. I forget what it is.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a vape pen like company or something like that. She like invests in or partakes in or whatever. And I've seen that once. And I just, again, Ghost, talk about like being around in the industry for so long. Like I'd rather talk to people like that like could like, if I'm going to sit down with someone and smoke, I'm going to want to pick their brain. I'm going to want to talk to them. I'm going to want to like, you know what I mean? I'm not going to
I definitely
just fandom conversation them. I'm going to be like, yo, like let me know something that somebody else doesn't know. Let's get into some cool conversation and see where it goes,
Word.
type of thing. So I
Word.
feel like the people I would pick would be more something like that rather than like don't get me wrong, Lil Wayne would be cool, Snoop Dogg would be cool, like all those type of people would be cool, but like nah, I'd rather like Kevin Smith. Yo, how did you get into like writing and all the shit that like got you into that? Like what made you start where you did and like blah 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 whatever, and get into
Yeah.
that conversation and talk about fucking Clerks and all that type of stuff and whatever. You know, let me talk to Cheech and Chong and talk about like, yo, like where's your let me talk to Willie Nelson and see where's your career taking you like now, how you like what's your life like now because of what you lived and blah blah blah. Like I'd love to talk to some of those people. Woody Harrelson, comedian from back in the day.
Woody
As a
Harrelson's
comedian,
mad
like
funny.
as a comedian, like people know who you are now, but like, does everyone know who you are? Like I would ask a lot of these questions to all these people now. Like same thing like I was saying to Method Man. Like I'd be more intrigued with like the people that I grew up with in stardom, like to not ask them about the questions of stardom during that time, but more about like the after things of like now, you know, like, hey, I haven't heard about you since these things. Like what's going on after the fact? Like
Word.
what is it that people that don't know about you? You know what I mean? And maybe that's just the podcast in me now for the last year, but
I'm gonna interview everyone.
but no, but like I am interested though at the same point. Like it's not just for the show, you know, like if I could get those 5 people that I just named in my top 5 on the show, that would be not only a dream for me because they're on my top 5, but amazing for me because the conversations that I think we would get out of that would be just so fucking valuable. You know what I mean?
Agree.
I just it's worth more than anything we could ever pay for.
That's pretty dope though.
And
You
saying
got a
that,
solid list.
and saying that, if we could get anyone from Wu-Tang on our show ever,
Oh, forget about it.
like
Yo,
if I could interview the RZA and talk
oh,
about
forget about it.
like some of the things that I would want to ask him, you know what I'm saying, dude? Like again, going back, if I could interview Method Man, even Redman, yo, you came into the group later. After, like, how was that like coming in later? Like, you
Yeah.
know, like, and I know they've had
Same
interviews
thing
and
with
stuff
like
like that, but
Capadonna.
yeah, but to talk to them about that stuff firsthand is different than
Yeah.
listening to the interview
Then
with someone
hearing it
else.
on Funkmaster Flex Friday nights.
You know what I mean?
Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-bam.
Someone else that's also famous already, you know?
Funkmaster Flex
Let
night.
me ask you this one. How about this? To kind of like bring it back into what we're talking about and stuff. If you could interview anyone on the show from Wu-Tang Clan, who would it be?
Well, I agree with you with
And-
RZA.
Well, I was just saying, and you can't say RZA because obviously he'd be like the number one genius to talk to. So like
All
anyone
right,
else
so
besides
excluding RZA and Method Man, probably
Well,
Ghostface.
no, not- I would say not excluding Method Man. It could be Method Man.
I would probably. All right, so it would be RZA and then Method and then Ghostface, and then Inspector Deck, then Jizza.
Wow, no Raekwon.
You
huh?
got Raekwon.
See, I
You
like
know what?
Raekwon,
I didn't even
especially from the
realize
show. Like I
Raekwon
like
until I got
Raekwon.
up to
He'd be
number
like
7, and I was like, "Oh shit, that's Raekwon." I do like Raekwon. All right, so
like I feel like Raekwon and Ghostface
RZA,
got to be like in the same
RZA,
tier, like
Meth,
right there. At, like,
Ghostface, Raekwon, that order.
yeah, like you know what I mean. Like 3 is like tied for like Ghostface and Raekwon for me. I'd love to
Yeah.
have them on the same episode.
They were always good together. You'd have like Red and Meth.
And they hated each other,
They did.
and nobody really knew that at the time.
They
hated each
nobody
other, and
knew.
he got them on the same track together. That's
Which is dope.
that just
I
shows
was-
how genius he was.
He is, yeah. And I like
Shout out
that
to
because,
RZA,
like I
man.
said, you get Redman and Method Man. They're usually collaborating. They came out with an album. And then you got Ghostface and Raekwon. And they're good. A lot of their songs that they have together,
Came out
the
with an
song
album.
Tears is
They came
so
out with the
fucking
album. They
good.
came out with movies.
Yeah.
They came out with
Yeah.
everything together. They were like inseparable for a while, man. They were yin and yang, bro.
They were. They hated each other because they were from
No,
different...
I'm talking about Method Man.
Oh,
Redman.
Method Man and Redman. Okay.
Yeah, they came out movies together. They came
How
out with
High, bro? That movie
so
was
much
great.
stuff. They had another movie together besides How High. No,
I don't think so.
I gotta fact check this right now
Fact
because
check
I'm
that shit.
Method Man, Redman movies. They were in Scary Movie 3 together.
Okay, yeah. Still don't really love that one, but
I would say,
yeah,
and not even
gotcha.
like a movie that they did, I guess, really.
They
But
were just in it.
I thought they were in other stuff together. I guess not. It says
But
they were in Jay
Ghostface-
and Silent Bob reboot.
Were they?
I didn't know that, but the reboot was in 2019, so that was new.
I didn't see the reboot.
Me neither.
But fucking Ghostface and Raekwon, they were from different hoods and they hated each other. And what was it in the very beginning of the season, right? It showed that who was Raekwon shot up Ghostface, or Ghostface shot up Raekwon?
Raekwon shot up Ghostface's house. It wasn't because Raekwon wanted to do it. It was the people that he was rolling with and the crew that he was rolling with from his neighborhood had some beef with him or whatever it was, and they shot up his apartment. And it was messed up because they didn't know that his brother was in a wheelchair.
He had two brothers.
I'll say his brother was in a wheelchair and his other brother that had special needs too. And so he had two brothers that were in the apartment, and thank God nothing happened to them. And then after that happened, RZA ended up still getting them together to be on the same crew, and not only be on the same crew and the same shit together,
on the same track,
be on the same track while they still were feuding and hating each other to get past all that to become who they were together. And I'm sure even through all the fame and stuff that they had some type of like, don't get me wrong, think about it. Like, think about something like that. If you're Ghostface, right? And I'm not talking about as because Raekwon probably felt bad after like years as they were clicked together. He probably was the one that felt bad. But Ghostface being the victim and like being someone that's like, yo, you shut out my house and I'm with you every day and I'm with you like recording and this and that. And now I got a family and now in this and, you know, all my personal and, you know, like I'm sure it was difficult at times for him certain days, like being in the studio with him, having to be there, having to deal with all that stuff and put all that shit aside to know it's going to be the best thing for my family.
This is
going to be the best
thing
for it's going to be the best thing for Wu-Tang. It's going to be the best thing for my wife, my kids, my boys, everything, you know, like what RZA's vision was, you know what I mean? And yeah, man, I respect it. It's like how I say to you, like a lot of times when I hear people talking about their visions and this and that, blah, blah, like reference it in different ways. Like I've never heard anybody reference the spider web except myself. I'm not saying nobody else has ever thought of that. I'm not saying I patent that thing or like whatever, but like when I tell you like my ideas for us and like the spider web of things that I have,
how many
like,
people it reaches out to.
I think that certain people like RZA have had all that same epiphany at certain times. And I just hope for us, it pans out the same way like it did for a group like them. You know what I mean? Nobody's coming out from Staten Island with everything against them, trying to just put what they learned in life, what they know in life to good, to be successful, to share it out with the world type of shit.
Yeah.
You know? And I mean that. I mean that. Like when Danny says, and I know like I think we're kind of done and I might steal this from him, like, thanks for the likes, listens, shares, and follows. We fucking really mean that shit. Like it's not just a rap at the end of every episode. Like I mean that shit. I follow every one of you that follows us, that subscribes us. I look at every comment. I look at everything. It means everything to us. So when we mean like, thank you for the likes, listens, shares, and follows, we really mean that. Like the subscriptions, the shares, the all that stuff, the comments. I notice who views our story every day. I notice who views our stuff every day. Like I do. I see that shit. And we fucking appreciate all you guys.
Hell fucking yeah. Remember, Wu-Tang is for the children. That's it. That's a wrap.
Yeah, I guess.
Do you want to take it away?
I would say starting to steal that from you. I just was feeling that. And like, yeah, like, so thank you everyone. Seriously, for the likes, listens, shares, and follows. We really, really appreciate every one of you. Please go subscribe to us on YouTube. We are always trying to push the YouTube page. D, you got anything else?
The only thing I got left is Wu-Tang is here forever, motherfuckers.